Hey, this is my writer's journey. Why don't you come along with me and let's talk about writing? Hey guys, my name is Charles F. Millhouse. I'm the author of the Captain Hawkland Adventures and Evolution Man and the Serena Darkwood Space Adventure series. And I'm here to talk about writing. I have really no idea what I'm going to talk about, but first I'm going to tell you what I write. I write what's considered men's fiction adventure, sort of like like Louis L'Amour books. Here's one I just picked up this past weekend, The Sackets, Book 3, and Ride the Dark Trail. These are Louis L'Amour's. These are considered men's adventure books. Clive Cussler is also another author that writes men's adventure, and that's what I write. Captain Hawkland is steeped in what's called new pulp. Um, he's an action adventure hero who travels the world seeking, well, basically adventure. I got into writing in 1999. I wanted to be a science fiction writer. I still do. I love science fiction. Um, but I also, around 2012, I wrote Captain Hawkland and the Skyhook Pirates, and it sold really well. And I thought, well, why? Why is this book selling so good? And I started to look, and there's a movement of what's called new pulp. People who read new heroes written in the 21st century with the same overlay of the original pulp stories that started in the 1900s through the 1970s. So I said, gosh, maybe I'll write another one. Well, the next thing I know, the series turns into 10 books. Plus, I have a dozen or so short stories. And I've had people write for the character in The Lost Adventures of Captain Hawkland, which is volume one and volume two of short story collections. And plus, I have a new book coming out on the 13th of August in 2024. It's called Captain Hawkland at War. It's a novel spanning the 5 years of America's involvement in World War II. Well, basically, it's between 1940 and 1945. And that comes out on the 13th of this month. And I wanted to share a little bit about what I do in this series and what I read, unlike the Louis L'Amour books. But I picked up this past weekend, and I'll tell you where here in a minute. I picked up Quest for the Space Gods. This is from Flinch Books. This is considered new pulp, and this has several different writers in it. This is an anthology, but it's based on a concept created by Jim Beard and John C. Bruning, and it has stories in it from Brian K. Morris, and I don't see a whole right here. Brian K. Morris, Frank Adams Jr., Terry Alexander, and Jim Beard and Desmond Reddick wrote short stories for the character in this book, for Quest for the Space Gods. And then there's a second book in the series, Quest for the Delphi Oculus, which is written by Brian K. Morris. And these are great reads, and you can find them on the Amazon, and you can go to flinchbooks.com, I think is their website, and check out their website for this and everything else that they publish. This past weekend, where I had picked these up and the Louis L'Amour books and a ton of other books I'm going to share with you over the coming weeks, I went to Pulp Fest. It's a convention in Pittsburgh, outside of Pittsburgh, in Mars, Pennsylvania, that is celebrates all things pulp fiction, from Doc Savage to Conan the Barbarian to more modern things like The Rocketeer, or even my Captain Hawkland series. And writers, creators from all over the country come. Actually, we even had some from Canada and from Great Britain show up to participate in this show. People sell old style magazines. They sell like the oh wait, hell, hold on a second. I picked up also The Shadow. I don't know if you can see it from all the reflection from the light. This is from March 1st, 1942. I picked it up, you can see, for $30, which I thought was a really good deal. And but that's what the convention does. It celebrates this type of storytelling. Louis L'Amour, Clive Cussler, even some Stephen King stuff is considered pulp fiction. And that's what pulp writers do. That's what I do. I write stories of heroes, men's adventures, and I didn't want to start doing that, mind you. It just kind of ended up that way, and that's what it is to be a writer. You're not quite sure what you're going to do, and writing kind of gets a life of its own, sort of like the story, and it takes you in the directions you didn't think you would ever go. And that's the direction I went into. I wanted to write science fiction. Here I am writing pulp fiction. I still write some science fiction books, the Serena Darkwood books, the Origin trilogy, which I'm currently writing book 3 now in the series. But these are what I types of stories I write: fast-paced action adventure. Even my science fiction has a lot of action in it. Um, I want to be known as a writer that people can go to escape the troubles of the world and just immerse themselves in some fun stories. Now, the last thing I want to do is sit here in every episode and talk about what I write. Yeah, I want you to know what I write, and I want you to know me as a writer. And I hope that you'll comment on this video and ask me questions about being a writer. And I want to ask you, what do you write? What do you want to inspire to be a writer? You can see I'm currently working on something here. This is a Zane Carrington adventure story that I'm writing, and he's picking up in popularity. You can see my notes scattered all over the top of my desk where I write. I consider what's called a pantser. I really hate that term, but it's writing from the seat of your pants. You get your basic idea and you sit down and you just start writing instead of writing a ton of notes. And then you keep your notes, how I do it, keep your notes as you write. And then I take those cards, and when I'm done with them, I put them in an index box. I know it's kind of old school, but I'm an old guy. And then if I need them for further reference, I'm going to write another story. I pull out those character references, pin them up above my head, and start writing the next story. So this is going to be my writer's journey. Once a week, I'll come up with ideas of things I'm writing and what I'm talking about. So I hope you'll follow me and come along with me. And I'll see you next time on my writer's journey.